Ego. It can be a man's greatest strength or his ultimate downfall. Some let it destroy them, while others use it as fuel to build something extraordinary. This is the story of Harris Evans, a man whose ego was crushed in the worst possible way. But instead of breaking, he chose to rise. And in doing so, he became one of the greatest men the world has ever known. Evans Harris was an ambitious man, born in a small town but with dreams that stretched beyond the stars. He believed he was special, different from the rest, destined for greatness. But life had different plans. One day he stood in the grand office of a powerful businessman, Mr. Donovan, a billionaire whose empire controlled the industry Harris wanted to enter. Harris had come with a dream, to pitch his idea, to prove himself, to be recognized. But Mr. Donovan didn't even let him finish. "You think you're special?" Donovan chuckled, looking at Harris with cold, dismissive eyes. "You're just another nobody with big dreams. People like you come and go every day. Without money, power, or connections, you're nothing. The world doesn't care about your ideas. It only listens to the successful. And you'll never be one of them." The words hit Harris like a storm. His heart pounded, his palms clenched into fists. He wanted to scream, to argue, to prove Donovan wrong right then and there, but he couldn't. He was powerless. Just another young man with dreams but no means to achieve them. He walked out of that office humiliated, defeated, and furious. But that fury wasn't aimed at the world. It wasn't aimed at Donovan. It was aimed at himself. That night, Harris sat alone, staring at the city skyline, replaying Donovan's words in his mind. Every insult, every rejection, every moment of humiliation, he burned them into his soul like fire on steel. And then he made a vow. "I will not prove him wrong with words. I will prove him wrong with my success. I will build my own empire. I will become unstoppable." The next morning, Harris began his journey. He worked tirelessly, studying every book, learning every skill, and mastering every detail of his industry. He didn't sleep much. He didn't complain. He didn't look for shortcuts. While others were partying, he was working. While others were sleeping, he was learning. While others doubted him, he was proving himself. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months, months into years. He failed many times. He lost money, he lost friends, he even doubted himself sometimes. But every time he fell, he remembered that day in Donovan's office, the way he was dismissed, the way he was laughed at, and that pain fueled him to rise again. Years later, Harris wasn't the same man anymore. He had built something from nothing, a company that was now shaking the industry. The same people who once ignored him were now calling him for advice. The same investors who once rejected him were now begging to work with him. And then, one day, something incredible happened. A meeting request arrived at his office. The sender, Mr. Donovan. Harris couldn't help but smile. Fate had brought him full circle. The meeting was set. This time, it was Harris sitting at the head of the table, while Donovan sat across from him, looking different, not as powerful, not as confident. "Harris," Donovan began, "your company has done wonders. I've been following your journey, and I believe we can do great things together." Harris leaned back in his chair, studying the man who once crushed his ego. "Funny," Harris said, "years ago, you told me I was a nobody, that I would never make it." Donovan's face tensed. He didn't have an answer. Harris continued, "You were right about one thing, though. The world only listens to the successful. And now, I am successful." Silence filled the room, and then Harris did something no one expected. He extended his hand. "Let's build something bigger," he said, "not as an underdog and a king, but as equals." Donovan, humbled, shook his hand, because Harris had proven his worth, not through anger, not through revenge, but through success. Harris's story is not just his. It is the story of every person who has ever been doubted, rejected, or underestimated. Ego can destroy you if you let it control you. But if you use it as fuel, if you let it push you to work harder, grow stronger, and rise higher, then no insult, no rejection, no failure can stop you. So the next time someone tells you, you can't do it, don't argue, don't fight, just smile, work harder, and one day, let your success be the answer. So friends, this is our today's video. If you like this story, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel, and see you in another video. Until then, take care, bye-bye.